In the US, the President, Joe Biden, has left COVID isolation and is back on the job. He's been visiting victims and inspecting the damage in Kentucky, where severe flooding has taken at least 37 lives and created enormous turmoil and devastation. It's another shocking national disaster. And like the Australian Labor Greens government, the US Democrats seem to think that they can actually change the weather, reduce the impact of natural disasters through their climate policies.
They're not just Kentuckians, they're Americans. They're Americans. This happened in America. American problem. And we're all Americans. Everybody has an obligation to help. We have the capacity to do this. It's not like it's beyond our control. The weather may be beyond our control for now, but it's not beyond our control.
The weather may be beyond our control for now, but it's not beyond our control. We think we know what he's saying, but we're never really sure, are we? This comes just as the US Senate has passed a bill containing almost $400 billion of spending on climate action. It'll subsidise electric cars and solar panels, among other things, as the US strives to meet its new Paris emissions reduction goals. And the Vice President also seems to think that this will have an impact on the weather.
We're looking at an investment of just about $370 billion to address the crisis that is clear every time we turn on the television, from what's happening on the West Coast with fires to hurricanes and floods.
No one could accuse them of under-promising, could they? But these grand pledges are seldom fact-checked. They're mainly just applauded. It sounds like the big winner from the American policies is going to be Elon Musk. And by the way, have you ever noticed how natural disasters seem to be partisan in America, just like they are here in Australia? When there are fires or floods under Conservative governments, they're always the fault of the government, and the inevitable chaos and trauma they cause is always blamed on government failures. Miraculously, however, when there are fires and floods under left-of-centre governments, it's just the weather that's to blame. And the trauma and chaos is just what you get from natural disasters. And best of all, the left-of-centre governments tell you they're going to get rid of these disasters in the future by giving you tax credits to buy electric cars. It is insane that most of the media and much of the population is buying this sort of a con for now. Anyway, it's good to see the President is back on the job, but the big worry remains whether or not he's up to the task. Have a look at this. So the President is off the chopper, just struggling to get the jacket on here. Dr. Biden, his wife, might help out. There we go. Off he goes. But watch out for the sunglasses. Yeah, dear, oh dear. Now, interestingly, this comes just a couple of days after Donald Trump boasted about his health as he singled out Republican Congressman and former White House physician Ronnie Jackson in a crowd.
He was the White House doctor. He was a great doctor, you know. He was an admiral, a doctor, and now he's a congressman. I said, which is the best if you had your choice? And he sort of indicated doctor because he loved looking at my body. It was so strong and powerful. But he said, I'm the healthiest president that's ever lived. I was the healthiest. I said, I like this guy. I don't know who the hell he is at the time.
Trump hasn't changed a bit, has he? Not humbled by anything. Actually, Jackson, who's been pushing for Joe Biden to do a cognitive test, told Trump back in the day to lose 10 or 15 pounds. Still, all this is being interpreted as more evidence that Trump will run for the presidency again in 2024. Which brings into sharp focus the stunning news overnight about FBI raids on Donald Trump's Florida home.
A large group of FBI agents executing an unannounced raid on President Trump's West Palm Beach home, Mar-a-Lago, on Monday. Federal authorities appear to be focused on potential classified material the former president took with him when he left the White House in January 2021, not anything related to the January 6th Capitol riot. Agents reportedly took 15 boxes from the home.
Trump, of course, is outraged, and we await more detail. But it is extraordinary and explosive, really, to have the FBI raiding the home of a former president just days after the Senate Judiciary Committee heard claims that the FBI deliberately killed off an investigation into Hunter Biden, the president's controversial son, in the lead-up to the 2020 election. While the White House is focused on pretending it can change the weather, what the US might really need most is a restoration of trust and confidence in its institutions.